Hello and welcome to another inspiring episode of Mighty Moms, the program that celebrates the strength and resilience of mothers who juggle parenting with pursuing their dreams. I'm Sarah Roberts, your host, and I'm excited to be with you today. You are watching the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Lagos. Today's episode is all about achieving success as a working mother, showcasing how it's possible to nurture a family while balancing your dream. It's going to be an insightful session, so stay tuned. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, Bennie Onukwuba, the MD of Terminal 7 Travel and Tours. Bennie is a dedicated mother and an accomplished entrepreneur who has navigated the corporate world, transitioned into entrepreneurship, and continues to inspire many with her journey. Motherhood is a transformative journey that shapes our children and us. It's filled with joy, challenges, and profound growth. Today, we honor the unsung heroes, our mothers, whose love and dedication lay the foundation for our achievements. Motherhood teaches resilience, the strength to wake up each day with purpose, despite sleepless nights. This resilience empowers us to overcome obstacles and reach our goals. It fosters creativity and problem solving. From soothing a crying baby to managing a household, mothers develop invaluable skills that drive success in ever-changing environments. Today, we celebrate every mother who has doubted herself yet continue to push forward. Your love, sacrifices, and commitment are the true markers of success. You are the heartbeat of your family, and your influence reaches far beyond your home. Today, to all the mothers watching, remember this: your journey, filled with love and perseverance, is the foundation of all-round achievement. You are raising the next generation of dreamers, leaders, and innovators. Your role is powerful. Welcome back. Bennie, before we start, how has the day been, or how has the week been so far?
Thank you very much. It's been amazing. Just take it one day at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Bennie, your career journey is quite interesting and diverse. You started in the airline industry, working with Virgin Nigeria.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your journey in that particular field and what actually sparked your transition from corporate world to you being an entrepreneur, and what were the initial hurdles?
Thank you once again, Sarah. And may I just begin by even saying, if you're a mom and you're listening to this, give yourself a thumb up and tell yourself you're a superhero, because being a mom is no mean task, right?
No.
So I started working, I would say arguably one of the best airlines then, Virgin Nigeria. And my work at Virgin Nigeria was, for me, was about doing a work, helping clients get from one destination, have very interesting journeys. I never saw travel as something life-changing until just one trip I had with my husband. You know, thank God for the airline had staff facility, staff travel. So with 15,000, then it was 180,000 to London. You could do a trip. So my husband and I, you know, with all excitement and adventurous minded, we got in, you know, to London. It was all fun and excitement. But one thing changed, because I moved from seeing myself as one that just help people get to their next destination. You know, I was a ticketing agent and customer service agent. To now, I began to experience a whole new me on this particular trip, right? By the time there were a number of issues on the way, along the way, but from my airline experience, we were able to maneuver all of that. By the time we came, I reflected and I realized that all of the pain points my husband and I went through are things that could actually be converted into serving others, right?
So it was like a Discovery Channel for you.
Yes. So I stored all of that in my hard disk somewhere. But transitioning into entrepreneurship, running my business came as like something like a push, because while I stored all this, I started telling myself, okay, it's good to have such business, you know, since I already have experience. So I went in for a ticketing training, all right. But a time came when my family needed to move from our present, from where we were at the time, mainland, to outskirts of town, right? And I realized that commuting to airport was going to be a big deal. So it was like a push. That pushed me, and God knows I needed that push. That pushed me to now realize that, okay, it's time to throw in my resignation and begin. I'd already done a ticketing training and now started just one day at a time. I had three things, I must say. I had the experience. I unlocked my this customer service spirit while working with the airline. I always had this. Was heartbroken when I saw customers miss their flight. So I always went the extra mile to ensure that customers, you know, meet up with their flight once they get tickets.
So you started with a passion in mind.
Yes, and then I had my laptop. So on top of my dining table, I just got started, one request at a time from family and friends, and that was how Terminus, my business started. Yes. Wow. Thankfully.
Wow, fantastic.
Yes. And the hurdle you mentioned, let me just quickly, you know, so the main thought, or that I should say, was where to start. Where do I start? Who will be my first customer?
Self-doubt.
Where to start exactly? Am I going to get, you know, we have a lot of big travel agents all over the place. In fact, initially I said, okay, let me just go and render my service and even learn how to run a travel agent. But my husband said, no, you got all the experience you already have. And once I was able to overcome that
initial fear.
Yes, I started taking it one request at a time, and one customer will refer one customer, one will refer one, and from one staff to two staff, and you know,
here you are.
We expanded the business. Yes.
Great. Bennie, this is interesting.
Yes.
You, along your business journey or entrepreneur journey, you have acquired several certifications and training, as you have said. How have this helped your business? How have this, you know, skills, certification and experiences help in running your business? And what advice will you give to moms concerning skills acquisitions and certification as far as running your business is concerned?
Thank you once again, Sarah. So, okay, let me just mention a few. So I have CEM certificate in enterprise management from Enterprise Development Center, Pan-Atlantic University, and I have AWEC. AWEC is African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative. These are women all over Africa.
Business women, I know, I'm aware of that.
Oh, you know. Yeah. So these are all professional programs that, you know, by the way, AWEC was purely online, but once in a year we get to meet ourselves. So these programs came with modules on HR, human resources, proficient operational services, sales and marketing, digital marketing, things I never knew. Most profound was ethics I learned in Pan Atlantic University. So ethics had a way of, it's just your conscience telling you, is this right? Is this, you know that this is obviously not right. And then you decide, you know what, we're not going to, it's not just about money. So I will just take one example of a corporate client we had quotes for, and the quote was about $1 million then, about 3 years ago. And one of my team members came, was very excited because they were all on target that, hey, these guys, they say that they will be giving us business, that they found out that our quote was one of the best. However, they needed us to, instead of around 900 something thousand, little less than $1 million, that we should quote 3.1. And of course, they didn't know. In my mind, I'm like, so you, travel coordinator, company has put you in a place to help them save money. You're going to take 2.1 all by yourself. Our own commission in that ticket was just a paltry sum. It was so slim. And I said, what do you guys think? Because they know every Monday we read our core values. Our core value is inspire. The first part of that inspire, IN, is integrity. And, nobody needed to tell you. So where is integrity? What are you teaching your team members? So I was asking one of them who had been the longest on, what do you think? I just wanted to even find out how all these things we've been discussing has been rubbing on. He said, man, we can't do it. Because she knew we had rejected something like that. I told her, we can't do it.
Integrity.
And this is coming from that ethics, some of the things we learned from. If I didn't go through all those programs, of course, it's all about the money. As long as we keep getting business. So we said no. I said, no, I'm not here for the money. That brand, that name is important.
So integrity is important.
Yes, to the glory of God, we still got the job. But we try to make an impact on, let people know something. It's not just about the money.
So the lesson, the takeaway from what you have just said is that no matter what you are doing, do not forget the ethics.
Integrity. Your name is important.
Your name is important.
Yes.
Your reputation is important.
That's what
you must be accountable.
Yes. Thank
you very much. Being a mother, Bennie, is a full-time job in itself. How have you been able to balance the demands of motherhood with the huge responsibilities of running your business? And in the process of being a mother while working, what are some of the mom hacks you have discovered as you travel along?
Okay. Balance and hacks, tips and hacks for mom. So let me just say that, to be honest, a lot of us juggle. And, I started with saying moms are superhero. I want to reemphasize that. Moms are indeed superhero. From deadline to your changing diapers, from boardroom to feeding bottles and all of that, from one meeting to the other, school runs. Moms are super beings. And mom, if you're listening to me, you must always give yourself thumb up. You must always acknowledge you're doing great, right? So the first thing I like to say is balance is a myth. Right? So because I've read about other things, I'll rather say that the thing for me is essentialism. What is essential per time?
So priorities.
What is essential? And to be able to get that, I came up with 4 acronyms, 4 letters. SEL, P is silent, PSEL. Prioritize what matters the most. Prioritize what matters the most. Most times we're everywhere trying to do this, trying to do that. But ask yourself, this season of my life, what is important? I'm a mom of toddlers, and I find myself every Saturday, instead of giving the right care to my children, I'm accepting this responsibility in church. I'm going for that wedding. I'm doing this. What is essential? What time do I have for my children? It's okay to, essentialism calls you to focus on what is important. There will be time for all those things, right? That's P. S, it's okay, I'll come back to it, but I'll go to E. Okay, S is setting boundaries.
Okay.
Set boundaries around your time.
Limitations.
Bulletproof your time, right? For instance, I get back from work around 5:30. I try to keep my, before it wasn't like that, but as I learn, I acquire knowledge, I keep my phone in the room. Family time, I join my children to make dinner, and then we discuss and we eat together. And during the meal time is the time I'm asking them how it went. I'm trying to infuse values into them. So set boundaries around your time. That phone call comes, you don't have to take it, right? Then that's S. Then E is embracing the need of the time. What is needful at the time? You don't have to do everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I'm coming back from work, I realize I'm getting late this day. I can buy a bowl of soup, right? I have gari or rice or whatever, and I come home just to reduce the time. I mustn't come and enter the kitchen all the time we're cooking. So what's the need of the moment? You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. What's essential at the moment? And then L, learn to say no. Saying no is a skill. Learn to say no. I mustn't accept that as she be. I mustn't buy all the whatever is coming up. I mustn't accept the program in the church, right? When I have young children that need attention. By the way, parenting, the work of taking care of children, is the number one task God has given us. So why am I feeling guilty going to be that I'm saying no to my pastor when I have the most essential job at home? All right. So learn to say no without feeling guilty. So these 4 items: sell, PS, prioritize what matters, setting boundaries around your time, embracing what is essential. Learn to say no without feeling guilty.
No. Thank you so much.
So
thank you
that
so
would be
much.
my.
Everybody has their own style. She has just demonstrated to us how she balances between motherhood and the huge responsibilities of running her business. I'm sure you have yours. Bennie, this is so interesting. We will go on a short break and return right back to discuss further on Bennie's entrepreneurial ventures. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back to Mighty Moms on Achievement Channel. Yes. Bennie, can you tell us some of the most important lessons you have learned on your journey as a mother and entrepreneur?
Okay, thank you once again, Sarah. So the lessons I've learned on my journey, one of the things I find out is that you can't be a mom without opening yourself to knowledge. So I try to acquire knowledge. I belong to a parenting group that runs online parenting classes that runs all through the year. Okay, and then you need to open yourself to knowledge. What obtained previously is no longer the way our parents parented us and groomed us is no longer the way we should groom the present generation, and you need knowledge for that. So one of the things I also do, I joined the 5 a.m. club. I read the book, and I realized that the first early part of your mornings are usually the most greatest. You have a lot to unlock. So I try to wake up early. In fact, my daughter has also imbibed the habit. Wake up very early to read and begin to plan my day, right? And then self-care. Every mom.
Pause that. I'll come to that.
Every mom needs to do that, all right? So, like, I go back to essentialism again. What is essential per time? You have young toddlers, you have young children at home. Why do you need to take all those responsibility in the church? You earn like 150, 100,000 per month. Why will you be doing all those ashebis and putting all the pressure? So part of my value is that I don't do ashebi. My family ashebi is enough, right? I don't do those. So with that, when you're coming, I'm already saying I don't do it, but I'll give a token to support where I can. So these things, having this, what did I call it in the previous?
Essentialism?
Yes, having this setting these boundaries and creating these values, learning to say no without feeling guilty help
And
to
some of the lessons.
Yes.
So what are some of the hopes and dreams you nurture on the future of Terminal 7 Travels and Tours?
Okay, so my hope and the dream are all embedded in our vision. The vision of the company is to be a preferred choice of travel and tourism in Nigeria. And to make that vision happen, we have a mission to, foster excellence in everything we do. And every Monday we reiterate that in our meeting. And my team members know that. So to be able to push ourselves out there, we also have that goal to put ourselves online. Presently, we are finalizing our online to get ourselves online. So if you do www.terminal7.com.ng, we're still trying to, yes, we're still trying to, so that people can book us from anywhere around the world, right? So, and not just, initially it was just a closed family and friend, but now we're beginning to realize that we need to go out there, expand, reach out, and make that impact, not just within Nigeria. So, online booking is in it for us.
Any hope of maybe creating branches outside Lagos?
Of course.
I was waiting for you to say it. So
of course, but it's not because...
It's a big dream.
Yes, but because, being online will get us across the globe even faster, right? So that's not the immediate, because we realize we can serve, we can fortify our station and all we do. We can serve and reach out to the globe for now. But there is hope to get other branches outside Nigeria. And of course, that we are doing in collaborating with other AWEX sisters and, outside Nigeria.
Bennie, what advice do you have for young mothers who are just starting their career or considering opening their own businesses? And also, what practical tips can you give to mothers on how to pursue their personal goals and still balance career and family?
Thank you very much. That question is really critical, yeah? Mm-hmm. So I will say the first thing is have, like we're told in all the classes, have a global perspective of what you're doing. Think big, but start small. I remember when I wanted to start, during the COVID, we needed to do something different. Travel was on hold. We started logistic, using bike to deliver goods and all of that. I was so enthusiastic. I said I was going to get like 10 bikes. My husband said, hold it right there. Okay, let's start with one, manage one, do all your mistakes on one. And that really paid off. So think big, but start small. Make all the mistakes. Don't be too quick.
And learn on the journey.
Yes, don't be too quick to get it big. So that when you're burning because you definitely burn your fingers. When you're burning your fingers, you're burning it with limited, that limited resources. Get a mentor. A mentor has a way of, transitioning you fast, directing you. A mentor may have taken 10, 15 years to get to where he or she is. But with that mentorship, you're able to get things done within a very short time. Then the other thing you asked about tips, I'm going to give them in in an acronym I call Be Alert. Moms should be alert. Be and alert, A-L-E-R-T, be alert. B is for blueprint. Have a plan for your business. Have a plan. Write it down. Let it leave your head. Move from the pressure of your head to the paper. Draw it. When they say write it, some of us but you need to write it down, right? A, action. Take action. Like I said, it took me some time trying to, where do I start? How do I navigate? A lot of questions burning in your action. Take that. If you don't take action, right, nothing starts, nothing works. You may have all the ideas. Learning, keep learning. Don't say you have, because you are coming from a particular business, you already have all the knowledge. Please open yourself to learning. Even for parenting, moms, you can do it much better if you go through parenting training where you're taught how to relate better with children and mold better children, right? Exercise, be alert. L for learning, E for exercising. Like I apart from my aerobics class, I enrolled in long tennis. I do long tennis. In fact, I have one this evening. Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I paid a coach. So every evening, twice a week, I do long tennis, and it sort of invigorates you, right? Relax. Take time to relax. That's what I'm talking about, self-care. Relax. And when you're relaxing, set boundaries. Keep those phones away, right? Keep your mind off work. It could be watching movies. It could be something that just relaxes your mind. Music and all of that, right? Reading, like, in fact, I relax with books rather than phone, right? And then the last one is be alert. T is think, reflect. In the morning by 5 a.m. when I wake up, recently the book I read has really exposed me. 5 a.m. Club is what the book is. Very interesting book. Has exposed me to the fact that when you think, go through your mind, that thing you're planning, you can, get everything, reflect and see how everything works out.
That means you must always find time to be alone. In the midst of your family, you find a moment to be alone. And
set boundaries so that nobody encroaches into that time. Okay. I'm learning that,
While doing that.
Wow, because that act of, in fact, sometimes it's in the morning I'm working out and, it's still very early. I'm praying my rosary, ideas, inspiration. It's a good time. Just be away, be alone.
That brings me finally to my last question. So what do? You have given us few, in the process of responding to my questions, but how do you prioritize self-care?
Self-care, I think part of my self-care is I ensure that I don't miss my tennis. In fact, going to tennis for me is a time of rejuvenating. I don't miss it. I give it to myself as a gift, right? And then I make time to reflect, that reflection time.
While doing sports?
No, it's another time.
Another time.
So sometimes visit to Blessed Sacrament, just praying without shouting. You find out that in quiet.
Meditation.
Some people do yoga. Some people, in quiet. God speaks to us, really.
Yeah.
And when you learn to hear God, half of your problem is solved, because God can't lie. The only thing, the problem is we don't know when God is speaking because we're so busy. With this, So that reflection time is usually a big deal for me, because go to the Blessed Sacrament, just be quiet, still, while praying, sometimes reading the Bible. You get inspiration about things that had been bothering, So
you let go and allow good things to come into you.
Exactly.
Bennie, it's been so interesting listening to your inspiring story, and thank you so much for sharing your journey. we use this to help mothers out there, you know, to as a support, as a kind of encouragement, because each day a woman encounters some self-doubt or fear while trying to take the baby step, and you have truly demonstrated that it is possible for a woman to achieve the trial goal: motherhood, career, and self. You have just won the medal for that. Thank you so much. Your strength, your faith, your commitment, your resilience is truly commendable. This is where we call it a wrap. I wish we could go on and on, but we cannot. Thank you so much for stopping by the studio.
Thank you very much, and thank you, superhero moms.
Thank you. Bennie's story is a testament to the power of determination, resilience, and passion. It highlights that with the right mindset and strategies, it's possible to thrive as both a mother and a successful professional. That's it for today on Mighty Moms. We've explored the incredible journey of Bennie Onukwuba, gaining valuable insight into balancing motherhood and career aspirations. And I hope you are feeling inspired and ready to take action. Remember, you are a mighty mom, capable of achieving great things. Your journey to success is in your hands. Stay inspired, stay focused, and keep seeing possibilities on the Achievement Channel, where we see possibilities. Bye-bye.